what are you gonna do? Write down the address here?
Well, just talk.
Yeah.
And then, so you like you talk about like your life and stuff. Last time we visited with you, you told us about when you won an award from the Marines. You saved a young soldier's life.
I find my book. Is my book here, Jenny?
Yes, well, see what I can do for you. See what I can
I think that'll
find
give you a
for
great deal of what, not only what I did, but what my brothers did.
Yes, but Dick, he's interviewing you from Hopkinton.
Yeah.
He wants to know what you've done.
All right. Not
Nope.
that's not the one.
We watched the series, the Band of Brothers and the
Yeah.
Pacific, since we were last year,
Yeah.
and so now we understand more of what it was like, what you went through, and Frankie wants to know like what islands you served on.
Oh well, that was pretty easy. It was a tough situation we were in, Frank. I was at the Battle of Saipan.
Where was that?
Saipan.
Saipan was in the Mariana Islands. The 2nd Marine Division did a lot of going from one island to the other and wiping out the Japanese troops that were stationed there.
And you got they landed on the
You didn't
beach.
find it, Jenny?
No, I didn't.
It's in the box here.
It's in the box.
In the box.
Okay.
Because I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
take your time.
Yeah.
Frankie is doing this for school project,
Okay.
and it's about you. It's
All
not
right.
about anybody
I
else.
understand
Okay?
that. I understand that.
It's about you.
I understand that. You see it in there?
I will look for it.
Oh.
So, what?
This book she's getting is an article in there written by a lady from Virginia. And she wrote about not only about me, but she wrote about everybody in our family.
Nice.
So I want you to see that article. Oh, it's unbelievable.
How old are you now, Dick?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm
89.
89 years old.
So you were underage when you joined the Army,
I
Marines.
was 18 years old.
18. Okay.
I joined the Marines on January 1st, 1944.
Wow.
And I went through Paris Island and then on to Camp Lejeune. And on June the 15th, I was in action with the Pack Howitzer group that I was with. Now, Pack Howitzer, Frank, if you take a look at that picture right up at the above there. Go ahead out there. Go out there. See it up above?
That?
Yeah. That shows a the group, the third gun position we were in on Saipan. And those are the medals that were issued to me right there. There's what they call the one in the middle is the Asiatic Pacific medal. Yes, the one in the middle. And then see there's 3 stars on there?
Yeah.
Those 3 stars represent the Battle of Saipan, the Battle of Tinian, and the Battle of Okinawa.
You let me write that down.
I'm recording it.
You're recording it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. This book was written by Elizabeth Kilbride And she depicts situations here in World War II.
His hands aren't anything like they used to be.
He's doing all right though.
This is what she wrote to me personally in this book. This is the first issue of this book, and she wrote to me.
Take those pictures just like that. Huh?
I'll show you here. This page here shows all my brothers and my sisters. And this page over here shows the Sullivan brothers. All 5 brothers were killed on the USS Juno in the Pacific. It was a destroyer, brand new destroyer. They were torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. And they lost all their lives. All 5. This here I am here, right here, in the U.S. Marine Corps. And this is what she writes. Members of 2 very special families joined. One survived and one didn't. The Brault brothers of Massachusetts served and came home, while the Sullivan brothers of Iowa all perished. The Brault brothers of Massachusetts. The ages of the Brault brothers ranged from 28 to 20. Clement, Bernard, Paul, Dennis, Richard, Gelos, and Jerome Brault joined various branches of the military: the Army, the Navy, Coast Guard, and the Marine Corps at varied times during that period of time. I can't see.
Tell them also that the law was changed as a result of all of those boys dying on that boat.
Right.
They never again will allow you to go into the Army, say, or the Navy, any of the branches
With the siblings.
with the siblings, because it was a terrible disaster to that family. Awful.
Very unfair.
Yeah.
Clement, the oldest, joined the Army and was stationed stateside. Bernard joined the Coast Guard and was assigned to anti-submarine warfare detail, getting to see the Army and saw action in the Pacific. Richard was also sent to the Pacific, but was with the Marine Corps' 2nd Battalion and saw action on Okinawa, Saipan, and Tinian. He was one of the first Marines of 2nd Battalion. I can't read it. Can you read it, Frank? Go right across.
Who had a promising career with the Boston Red Sox and was inducted by the Army and served with the...
That was my brother Jerome. he was in the, he played down in Durham, North Carolina.
Wow.
In a what is it? Not a major league.
Minors.
Minor league.
Yeah.
He's a pitcher.
Cool.
And then he went into the Army in the intelligence.
Nice.
And all of us served.
Let me take another picture.
I don't know if you can get the picture. I gotta give you a better picture. Wait a minute. I got one here. This was
We were there for that one.
you get that one. Here I am here. This was our father, Frank. My father was a physician, a surgeon. And that's my sister Rose. She had a beautiful voice and she used to sing in all the USO shows here in America. And my brother Dennis, he was a dentist, but also he was also the commander of the USS Tarawa during the Korean War.
Huh.
So it was a varied sort of situation with our family. We all served. We all came home.
Nice. Now you saved a soldier's life by putting a tourniquet on his leg.
Yeah, that was an experience that was used in North Carolina at the general's office.
Mm-hmm.
It was an award that I received.
Last
Jenny,
time
can you get that letter from General Summer?
Out
No,
on the table?
Miller, General Miller, out there. It's on the table there.
So last time we were here, you showed us that. And,
yeah.
And what island was that on?
That was on Saipan.
Saipan. So you landed.
We landed, and then within hours, we had that. I had that experience, and we carried the fellow back to the boat.
Nice.
That we just got off of.
So,
This here, I had some good pictures. I don't know. They're all around here. Oh, here it is. Here, here's a better picture. This here letter was presented to me by the general at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, with a gold medal that I have upstairs. But you can read that. Read that out loud.
Mr. Richard Brault, the Marines and sailors of the 2nd Marine Division were truly honored to host you during the 2011 World War II commemoration ceremony. Your personal efforts to make the trip were much appreciated by the young Marines of this division. Then you will know. We hope that the day's activities were met with your expectations. I can assure you your stories and memories of the battle met ours. The reformation of the warrior bond.
Reaffirmation.
Yeah, affirmation.
Of the warrior bond we share made a lasting impression of every Marine with whom you came into contact, and for that we are once again in your debt.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an experience that I experienced with my own son. My son drove me down to his office. And we had these experiences, but the experience of battle is is a horrible thing. It's not, there was nothing pleasant about what went on, because it was killing other human beings, children as well. We took no prisoners. The city of Garapan, on Saipan, there was close to 300,000 people in that city, and we eliminated them completely. We took some prisoners, but not many.
They
But,
wouldn't give up.
Right. Then there was a
surrender.
place called Mapi Point, which was a cliff area towards the northern part of the island of Saipan, where people
Jump.
were jumping from the cliffs and throwing their children over and committing suicide. Also, the soldiers, Japanese soldiers, forced the people to jump.
They weren't very nice.
But a lot of this never came out by the press. It was just too horrible to even be with, you know.
But you guys did the work of stopping that kind of people from ruling the world. I mean, they wanted to rule the world, and they wanted to.
Well, it was their point of view was to commit suicide to go to heaven. That was their method of banzai. So then the Battle of Tinian was an island that was just next door to the Battle of Saipan. We went into Tinian because they needed a field to hold the B-29s. And that was from the B-29 fields on Tinian that flew into Tokyo and firebombed Tokyo itself. And also, the B-29 Enola Gay carried one of the atomic bombs that bombed Hiroshima first, with the plane called Boxcar, which was a B-29, and then the next B-29 took off from, they both took off from Tinian and bombed Nagasaki with an atomic bomb. I remember going home from Kyushu in Japan and writing to my father, telling him that the damage control of Nagasaki was so horrible that the end of the world was about to begin.
You didn't tell him that you'd been to Japan. He went to Japan after that, so he was in there after the atom bomb was dropped.
Yeah.
He was the first contingent of Marines. They were scheduled to be, if that bomb hadn't dropped, the first contingent to go into Japan for the war. They never would have come back. But when that atom bomb was dropped, it stopped the war. That's what it did. It stopped the war. And he was in right after that bomb dropped.
So, what company were you in?
This is anyone here a Marine? Read off the names and you'll see some of the Marines that you know.
John Adams, Terry Anderson, Burt Bacharach.
Bacharach. These are famous actors and probably some politicians.
Yeah, Ted Williams is in there.
Ted Williams played for the Red Sox.
Huh?
He served twice. He was. So, Dick, what was the name of your division and company?
I was with 3rd Battalion, 10th Marines. That you might want to write down, but you're not going to remember all of these things.
We're recording.
Oh, you're recording it?
Yep.
Oh, good. Good. So,
that's the Marines name? Is it still a company of Marines or is it a company of Army?
it was the Marines.
But did they name them differently? Because when we watched Band of Brothers, they were a company.
Second Battalion, 10th Marines. And I was in the 3rd gun section.
So
They have sections of pack howitzers. These were cannons that we could take down and move the next position we were in, so that we had firing missions from the Navajo Indians.
Nice.
That would give. They were the ones that would go up front, and then give us locations of where to place our shells, and what kind of shells to use. We were getting that on earphones.
Mm-hmm.
So
They had
it's hard to visualize and talk about it.
Well, he's seen the Pacific.
Oh yeah.
Which is, we saw
Things
Band of
on
Brothers.
television.
Yep.
You've seen things on television.
Yeah. We saw the Band of Brothers, which was about Europe, and then the Army Rangers. Right. Then we saw the Pacific, which is your Marine, real life Marine stories.
Right.
Based on 2 books and a couple of articles that Marines wrote, and we saw the story of John Basilone.
Yeah.
And
John Basilone received the Medal of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
He was with the 2nd Marine Division.
So you were 3rd Division. He was 2nd Division. Yeah.
The whole thing is a division. 2nd Marine Division, 1st Marine Division. They were in Guadalcanal, 1st Marine Division. And then the 2nd Marine Division came in, also into Guadalcanal. Then they moved up the ladder for what they call the island hopping.
Yep.
They went into Tarawa with the orders of General MacArthur and General Smith that they could take that island in no time at all. They lost within 3 days 1/4 of 20,000 young men.
When Dick was there, he was 18 and 19, 20.
Right, I was 18, 19 years old.
And, that's only 7 years older than you.
Yeah. But those were the times. That's what I was trained to do.
Make the world a better place.
Right. And the world is a better place.
Yes.
Really. I mean, we have a lot of damage control going on right now here in this country, but we're still the greatest country in the world. And it's thanks to a lot of these young men who've now given their lives in Iraq, Afghanistan. There are a lot of young Marines who've sacrificed their lives.
I went to college with Phil Bliss, who was a Marine. He was in Desert Storm, and he bought a house around the corner. I should bring him over and introduce you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've met a lot of them. I've met a lot of them. That picture up there, Frank, I happened to be
This was a nice story.
get a visit from my brother on Saipan after Saipan was secured, and he flew back to Guam, and we were at the B-29 field, and we ran into a sergeant in the Air Force, and he had a camera.
Oh, nice.
We were not allowed to have cameras. And this fella had a little box camera, and we asked him if he would take our pictures together and send it to my father. And
that's the
he did. Those are the two pictures that were sent to him. My brother Paul is to the left, and I'm to the right.
This is Paul, and this is Mr. Burl. Paul and Mr. Burl.
No beard.
No,
Huh?
no beard.
No beard.
No beard. Had to shave real clean.
So you want to ask him what after the war now?
All right. You want anything else? Oh,
You can ask Mrs. Pearl how many kids they have. Don't be shy.
What is he? How many?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm proud of. I have 7, and these are the grandchildren. Wow! Now the great grandchildren are coming. So that was at our 50th wedding anniversary. We just had 65.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 65.
65 years of being married. How many live in Hopkinton?
Nobody else lives in Hopkinton, but they're close. The furthest away is Peter. He's the doctor.
Nice.
My first were twins. These
Nice,
are the twins, and they were identical twins, but mirror twins. One is a priest and one is a physician. They had wonderful arguments together. One was
Science and faith.
science, and one was. Let's see. Then the furthest away would be Ricky Maine. He's from Maine. He's a teacher at York High School, and he is also an assistant coach at Phillips Academy, Exeter
Nice.
Academy in New Hampshire, and they won 2 championships last year and the year before. So they're working on a new one this year. They just met their new group. Joseph lives in Milford, and I'll tell you about a little bit about Joseph. On Tuesday, we had a surge into the electricity, lost the oven, and other things that I won't go into. He came in, took out that oven, and put a new oven in, so we had Thanksgiving.
Nice.
That's I wouldn't be here without those kids. And then the 2 girls. Oh, Tom, we were just there to see him. He on midnight of Thanksgiving had an operation at Mass General on his eye. What do they call it? A detached retina.
Wow.
And that was that's why we were visiting him. He's in Upton. And then the 2 girls. I can't live without them either. She's in Whitensville. Carolyn is the oldest, and Christine has an glorious operatic voice. Does a lot of singing in church, and she has 2 children. One of whom is a skater. He's the top skater in at his age limit right now, 12. this is not hockey. This is,
So you're 11,
yeah,
and their grandchildren are around your age range, or some are older and something
grandchildren now they're old enough to have children of their own, and they're
Great
producing
grandchildren.
fast and furious.
Nice.
So that's my pride, right there.
And piano lessons.
How you knew that?
Yes.
How did you know
Well, we
that?
visited you before, and you
Okay.
showed us.
All right.
And,
Yeah, I love that. That happens to be something I love to do. So.
excellent.
Frank, this is a picture of a Marine coming out of from combat.
He's kind of shell shocked somewhat.
When I left Okinawa, we were in a firing mission on Okinawa. 9 days of constant firing with the pack howitzer. And then I was covered with lice. I couldn't clean myself. I get aboard afterwards to go back to Saipan on the LST. And so help me God, I thank God I had a shower aboard that ship. And I was able to clean myself up. But I was covered with lice. And it was just one of those things. This is what it looks like. This is what I can't tell you enough. There's a Marine coming off of combat.
Does he want to know about him as he's gotten older?
Huh?
How far is he going to go into this?
This is a good amount of information. He'll. I don't know if do they actually have the tea at the school, or is that
No,
they don't do that?
that's just the name of it.
He'll
I can't think of anything else.
that's good.
Oh, you did a good job.
To show you.
Thank you. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You think you got enough information?